Hello students, in this video I am going to explain about tuples in Python. So what is a tuple? A tuple is defined as an order sequence of items having any number of elements of different data types. It is immutable. Immutable means once it is created, it cannot be edited. So you can keep the different data types of elements in a tuple. So now I am going to show you how you can declare a tuple in Python. So this is the way how we can declare a tuple in Python. This is the name of the tuple. It's a variable name only. And these three are the values which I have assigned for the tuple. Now I want to see the values of the tuple. So what I will do, I will simply write print and the name of the tuple. Okay. So in this tuple, we have three values. At a time, I am able to see these three values. Suppose I don't want to see all the values. I want to see only two values. Suppose I want to see the C and I want to see Java. So how I will do that? So for that, we have to specify the index position. So now you see here how I will do that. Take the square bracket, give the index position. Then comma, again, tuple name, then index position. Save. You can see here it is displaying you C Java because I want to see these two values. So I specified the index position as 1 and 2 because it starts counting from 0. Now I want to use loop for this purpose. Suppose I want to see all the values using loop. Individually I want to print all the values using loop. For x, name of the variable I am taking for loop in, what is the name of the tuple? My underscore tuple. Print, when you are working with Python, that indentation is very important. Indentation means this is space. Otherwise, it will give you error. Print okay. So it is displaying all the values in the tuple because I typed my tuple. But if I want to print the value one by one, I don't want this. Means what I will do? I will type here x. So I will be able to see the value for one time only. See now, Python, C and Java. Okay. If I will give it a comment entry, it will be more clear for you so that it will not display the previous output so that you will be able to know the exact work of the loop. Now you see, it is displaying the value one by one. Okay. Now we will go to the next thing. That is what? Whether we can update a tuple element, whether we can delete a tuple element. No, we cannot update a tuple and we cannot delete a tuple because it is immutable. So if I will try to update any value in tuple, what I will get? I will get error. Let us prove that. If we are trying to update any value in tuple, we are getting error. So let us prove that. For that, I am trying to update a value into the tuple. After that, we will see what happens. My underscore tuple is the name of the tuple. Here in first position, I want to update a value called C sharp. Now I want to print the tuple because I want to see whether the value has been updated or not. Print, then give the name of the tuple. You will get the error. Why I will get the error? Because tuple cannot be updated. Here I try to update a value to the tuple. So I am getting a error because it is immutable. I cannot update a value. I cannot delete a value into the tuple. Okay. Now we will move to the next thing, that is tuple methods. How we can use the methods in tuple. Okay. First we will start with the count method. So what is the use of the count method? The count method is used to count the number of times an element is present in the tuple. So how many times that particular element is present in this tuple? For that we are using count method. For that how we will type? Print. Suppose I want to see how many times C is present in my tuple. So for that what I will do? Print element count my tuple, my underscore tuple dot count. Within the count, what I will pass? I will pass C because I want to see how many times C appears in my tuple. Okay, I have typed it wrongly. It is my tuple. Okay, so it is displaying that this C occurs one time in the tuple. Okay, so if I have specified it for 2 times, then it will show you 2. If it is specified for 3 times, it will show you 3. Okay. Now we will go for the index method. What is the use of the index method? You can use the index method to return the index value of the tuple element. Suppose I want to see in which position Java exists in my tuple. So for that I can use the index position. Let us do that. Print index value of Java. I want to see what is the index value of Java. What I will do? Index, name of the tuple, my underscore tuple dot index okay, index value of Java 2. Okay, so Java exists in the position 2. Now we will go for the tuple operations. What are the tuple operations available? Means how we can manipulate tuple using the various inbuilt functions. So let us start with len function. As you know, len function is used to check the length of a tuple. Okay, for all things like string, list, len function work is to check the length. So how to use that? Print length of tuple is, what is the length of the tuple? My underscore tuple. So it is displaying you the length of the tuple is 3. Now we will move to the next function. What is the next function? The next function is max and min functions. For that, suppose I want to check what is the maximum function in a tuple or what is the minimum function in a tuple. Also, we will see sum functions in tuple and sorting functions in tuple. For that, I am going to declare a tuple with number. This is the tuple with string values. I am going to declare a tuple with number. And we will use all these functions there. My marks. For example, I am taking a tuple called my marks. And within that, I am declaring some values. Suppose 50, 70, 80, 90. Now what I want to do? I want to see what is the max value within this tuple. What is the mean value within this tuple? So for that what I will do? Print max value is max okay, you got the max mark. Okay, max name of the tuple. So it is finding the maximum value from these values. Now we will go to the mean function. Mean functions means obviously it is going to check the minimum value. I am copying this. Mean value. Here I will change to mean. Minimum is the function. Okay, maximum value is 90 and minimum value is 50. Now I am going to sum the values. What are the values are there? I want to sum them. For that, I will use sum function. Sum of values are okay. So the sum of the values are 290. Now we will use the sorted function. Means elements of the tuple we can arrange them. Okay. In an increasing order using the sorted function. The elements of the tuple are arranged in increasing order using the sorted function. Okay. So what we will do? Now we want to arrange this value using the sorted function. So for that, what I will write? Only I will change the function name. Here, sorted value are sorted values. After sorting, what value I am getting? Sorted, then the name of the tuple. Okay, because I have taken the all the values in sorting order only, so same value it is displaying. So if you will take different values, suppose one first you are taking 30, then you are taking 10, then you are taking 20, so that you can easily know it how it is going to sort the values. Now we are going to the next concept, that is dictionary. What is dictionary? Okay, a dictionary we can create to store the things with the key values. Okay, as you know, the dictionary work is to store the things. So here in Python, we can create a dictionary by giving a name to the dictionary, and also we have to store them with the key values. Okay, so here I am going to declare a dictionary with some keys and values. This is my dictionary, my underscore books, with some keys like Python is the key, 100 is the value, C# is the key, 150 is the value, C is the key, and 200 is the value. Though it is the last value, we don't have to put comma after 200. Okay, so after last item, don't put a comma. Now I want to see what are the things are there in my dictionary. So for that, what I will do, I have to use print statement, then your dictionary name. Okay, so here are the keys and values, keys and values, keys and values. Suppose now I want to add one more element to the dictionary. For that, what I will do? I want to add an element to a dictionary. For that, what I will do? I have to write the codings like this. My underscore books, the name of the dictionary. Okay. Then you pass the thing which you want to add. Suppose I want to add here C++ as the key. Then I have to specify a value for that. Suppose 250. Now I want to see whether this element has been added into the dictionary or not. For that, what I will do? This one only I am copying from here. And this one I am making a comment entry. Okay, so the value has been added into the dictionary. Now I want to see how to search a value in the dictionary. I want to search a particular thing in the dictionary. How I will do that? I can do that using the in operator. You know, in is a membership operator through which we can search a particular value in the dictionary. So let us do that. If, for that I am using a conditional statement. If the name of the book, which book I want to see in the dictionary. I am searching in the dictionary. So if C sharp, if C sharp in my underscore books, print book is found. Else print book is not found. Okay. So if it will get the value called Caesar, then this statement will execute book is found. If Caesar will not be there, it will show me the message book is not found. But here I will get the message book is found. Okay. Now let us change the value and we will see whether it is working perfectly or not. Instead of C sharp, I am taking now C++. Now it will show me book is not found because C++ is not in this dictionary. Okay, book is not found. Now we will move to the next thing, removing element from a dictionary. How we can remove an element from a dictionary? For that, we are using a function called pop. We are using a function called pop to delete an element from the dictionary. Let us do that. So how we can do that is we have to use the pop function. So what is the name of the dictionary now? My underscore books. Okay. Then you use the pop function. Then which one you want to delete? Suppose I want to delete C sharp. So for that I have to type C sharp. Then double quotation, then bracket. Now I want to see whether that value has been deleted from the dictionary or not. So sorry. So suppose this key has been deleted from the dictionary or not. So what I will write? I will write print, then the name of the dictionary. See, Caesar value is not available now because by using pop function, I have removed that value from the dictionary. Now we will clear the dictionary. Clear the dictionary means what? We are going to clear all the elements from the dictionary so that no elements will be available. Let us do that. My underscore books dot clear. Okay. Now let us print it to see whether the elements are there or not. Print, what is the name of the dictionary? My underscore books. Are you able to see any element here? Why it is simply showing two curly brackets? Because previously the elements was here, because I have used one more print statement. That is why it is showing. So let me comment it so that it will be more clear for you. See, only you are getting two brackets. It means there is no elements now in the dictionary. Now suppose I want to delete my dictionary. So what I will do? Simply I will use del keyword, then my underscore books. This is the name of the dictionary. I am deleting all these things. Now I don't want. Now if I want to print my dictionary, what I will get? I will get a error message. Why I will get a error message? Because already I have deleted my dictionary. You see, I got a error message. I got an error message. Why I got an error message? Because already I have deleted my dictionary here, and I want to see what is the contents of my dictionary. That is why I got an error. Okay. So this is all about your lesson tuples in Python. Thank you.